Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all for this 3-day workshop. We will start with a prayer song.
Good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of the management, principal and staff of Stella Matutina College of Education, the resource persons from the Department of Computer Science of Stella Maris College, Chennai, Mrs. Jayapriya, Dr. Faustina, and Mrs. Charulata for the 3-day faculty development program on DIGITECH for constructive teaching organized by IQAC of Stella Matutina College of Education. I also extend our greetings to the participants from various colleges all over India. Let us begin the workshop with the grace of the Almighty through a prayer song. I now invite our beloved principal, Dr. Joseph Catherine, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Respected Secretary, Reverend Sister Pauline Mary, our resource persons, Ms. Jayapriya, Dr. Faustina, Ms. Charulata, dear participants, staff from Stella Matutina College, the coordinate, Dr. Alma, dear students, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to all. With online teaching and learning becoming inevitable in the current scenario at all levels, it has become inevitable to familiarize with the available digital tools. The webinar on DIGITECH for constructive teaching from 1st to 3rd July 2020 is an attempt to catch up with the rest of the world in techno-pedagogy. We have 3 experts in this area from the computer science department from Stella Maris College. They are Ms. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs, Associate Professor Dr. Faustina Joan and Miss A.R. Charulata. They have conducted several seminars on ICT tools in teaching and learning and evaluation. We thank them for accepting our invitation, and I extend a warm welcome to them on behalf of Stella Martina. I extend a warm welcome to our secretary, Reverend Sister Pauline Mary, who is our driving force. Thank you, sister, for your encouragement. I cordially welcome and thank all the participants who have joined with us today. I welcome the staff and students of Stella Martina for this webinar. I appreciate the efforts taken by Dr. Alma for conducting this online faculty development program. Once again, I welcome you all and I wish you all a fruitful and happy learning for these 3 days. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of welcome. I kindly invite our India Secretary of Stella Matutina College of Education, Sister Pauline Mary, to offer the inaugural address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. I take this opportunity to welcome to Stella Matutina College of Education everyone present here. The function of all the great institutions of learning is to provide continuity of learning. It is equally the obligation of teachers to train the minds and the talents of our youth, to improve through creative and innovative programs in accordance with the requirements of the future. In this connection, our college decided to organize a 3-day national online faculty development program on DIGITECH for constructive teaching to be held from today to 3rd July. No one is you, and that is your power. Never forget that you are one of a kind. Never forget that if there weren't any need for in all your uniqueness to be on this earth, you wouldn't be here in the first place. And never forget, no matter how overwhelming life's challenges and problems seem to be, that one person can make a difference in the world. In fact, it is always because of one person that all the changes that matter in the world come about. So be that one person you. I congratulate Ms. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs at Stella Maris College, Chennai, Dr. Faustina, Joan SP, and Ms. A.R. Charulata, Assistant Professors, Department of Computer Science, for having accepted to share their expertise to the teaching fraternity. I also invite all the professors and participants to join this program and actively participate in this workshop. I congratulate and appreciate the hard work put forth by Dr. Mrs. Alma, the coordinator of IQAC of Stella Matutina College, and the principal, Mrs. Catherine Joseph, who took keen effort in bringing this program. I wish you all success for each and every one. May God bless you all.
Thank you, sister, for your words of motivation. Constructivist teaching is based on the constructivist learning theory, which enables active learning among students. To introduce and deliberate on the theme of the workshop, I call upon the organizing secretary and IQAC Pamela. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jeba. The theme of the workshop is DIGITECH for constructive teaching. Today in the education system, amazing things are happening. New challenges and issues, both for teaching and learning, are emerging. This decade is not just about pedagogy, but it is about digital pedagogy. Digital education has become our birthright. The concept of teaching the various disciplines also is changing in the new way of paradigm shift in education. Advances in technologies and communication media are challenging the old principles and the methods of teaching and learning models. More than ever before, our profession as teachers becomes more challenging. Students are digital natives and are not passive listeners in the classroom. They are more dynamic in thinking in a different way, ask questions due to the flow of knowledge available through the internet. Students go beyond what they learn in the classroom, read more, find out more, discover more, know more about things, persons, and places through open educational resources. Therefore, Stella Matutina has identified the significance of leveraging the skills and technology among teacher educators. The purpose of the National Online Workshop is to expose the teacher educators to create a suitable environment that encourages creative classrooms with integrating web and cloud applications. There is a need to provide a forum that stimulates discussion on how do we teach and examine emerging trends and explore future challenges. The workshop will also provide opportunities for networking and collaboration among stakeholders. Today, we have with us Ms. Jayapriya, Dean of Academic Affairs at Stella Maris College, and Dr. Faustina Joan and Ms. A.R. Charulata, Department of Computer Science, who are persons endowed with the sounding knowledge. It is a privilege to have you all in our platform, ma'am. And they are going to rejuvenate the e-methodology of teaching and learning to match the present day developments of education. I hope we have interactive, inspiring, and igniting sessions. I appeal to you to interact during the workshop sessions and let it be a dialogue. In welcoming all the resource persons, I thank them all on behalf of the Stella Matutina family. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma ma'am. I hand over the session to Mrs. Jayapriya and her team. I wish all the participants a joyful learning experience. Over to you, Jayapriya ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So thanks for the wonderful opportunity you've given us to our team. Hope all of us will have a good learning experience together. So before I start, let me share my screen. I hope you're able to see my presentation, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I always start with this black swan theory, the Talib's black swan. The situation now is actually a black swan. So earlier, till the people saw the swans black, they were thinking that swans were always white. So that's what we call it as a black swan. And now, no, we never ever thought such a situation will arise. So there's going to be a highly improbable situation which has happened and which is a black swan for all of us. So how do we equip ourselves to face this? So we were working out with our traditional methods and traditional teaching. Now, this is a time we'll have to unlearn all those things and relearn something new. So all these 3 days is going to be that learning for all of us. So before we go into the workshop as such, first of all, we'll have to be convinced, why do we need to move into such a pedagogy? So why do we need to have an online learning? So for that, we'll have to think, what is that we missed in traditional teaching learning, which we can achieve using this type of online learning? So there are many things which are positive in the case of this type of online learning. So we'll be able to access the education no matter the location is. We can learn anything, whatever we wanted to, whatever we wish for. And the most important thing is we can learn it in a comfortable place. If I feel my room is very convenient for me, I can sit in my room and learn. And if I am very active during midnight, it's easy for me to learn even at midnight. So this gives me the comfort and flexibility to learn. And it's easy for me to share the knowledge with others. Say for example, here the same webinar itself. If I feel, yes, I can share my knowledge, it's easy for me. I need not come to your place, or there is so much of things which are changed right now. It takes away the geographical and financial barriers for receiving quality education, and trainers and teachers like us can expand our reach already. We need not be restrained to the college environment and all those things. We can easily reach the poor, reach the less privileged. We'll be able to share the knowledge with them. And it also provides a professional to learn and work at the same time. So there are so many things which we can gain when we go in with this online learning experience. So that's the factor we'll have to think before we move into why do we need to go in, not just during this pandemic. It could be post-pandemic also. So the best method of teaching could be from here on will be a blended learning environment. A blended learning is going to be a combination of online learning as well as a classroom learning, a physical classroom learning. So which gives us all the advantages. We'll have face-to-face, we'll have a collaborative learning, we also have a self-paced learning. So that gives you an inclusive learning environment. So in a sense, what do you mean by inclusive learning? Say for example, a student is weak. She is not able to understand. So in that case, what happens? She has got the flexibility of learning it again and again. She can watch the videos again and again. She can understand it better. It brings in that inclusiveness in the learning. It gives you flexibility. It becomes more of student-centered. And no longer we can restrict the learning just with 5 or 8 hours inside the classroom. It's going to be continuous. It's very competitive world, and we'll have to equip the students to learn continuously, 24/7 learning experience. And this blended learning is definitely going to give us all these things. And there is going to be effective communication between the educators and the learners. If you want to communicate something to our students, yes, we can do it at any time we wanted. We are convenient with. And the students also can respond at any time they are convenient with. So it's going to be an effective communication between the students and the educators. So a blended learning is going to be the teaching learning experience, post-pandemic also. So this session, we are going to focus on, because we are all thorough in the traditional learning, teaching, learning, evaluation experience, where we'll have the physical classroom, and we have face-to-face interaction with the students, and we are very comfortable with that traditional learning and teaching. So now we are going to move into a different phase. So where we will have to include a virtual classroom environment. This pandemic situation has given us actually an opportunity for us to explore on all these things which we would not have dreamt of earlier. So the first thing is, before we go in for the teaching and all those things, we need a classroom actually, right? So we need a classroom. So earlier we have a classroom made of bricks and all those things. We have a physical space where we have the learners, we have the teachers, and lectures and discussions on a topic happens. And we assess the students by giving them assignments, projects, and all those things. That's going to be a physical classroom environment, which is right now not possible. So we'll have to move into a virtual classroom environment. So when you go into a virtual classroom environment, we can call it as a learning management system, where here also we have a classroom, we have the learners, we have the teachers, we have lectures, discussions, and assessments, which we have it in a physical classroom. In addition to that, we have a comfortable environment and a flexible schedule with us. So that's going to be the most advantageous thing when we are going to think about all this blended learning experience. So this type of virtual classroom is going to bring in an inclusive learning environment. So weaker students, as I said earlier, can learn at their own pace. If a student is absent or distracted in the classroom, and it normally happens, due to some personal problems or something, she will not be missing the class because she has some video to watch later. And it also helps in better understanding of the concepts. So it brings you an inclusive learning environment. So that's the advantage of using a virtual classroom post-pandemic also. Yes. So how are we going to go? What is going to be the process of it? So first step, we'll have to create a classroom environment. Okay. So only if I have student in my class, then I can think about teaching the students. So I'm going to create a virtual space where I have to bring in the students, and that's what we're going to see for the first session. We're going to set up a virtual classroom environment, and for that there are many tools available, and we are going to use Google Classroom for that. Second, once we create a Google Classroom, then we are going to create videos and we are going to upload it in the Google Classroom, and we can upload the materials and all those things. And when you're going to upload anything in your Google Classroom, the notification automatically goes to the students. The students has no possibility of missing all your posts. So she will get the mail and she will be seeing all the posts. So the first step in the process is, before I go in for the teaching, I need a classroom for that. So for that, we are going to create a virtual classroom environment using Google Classroom. So this is how I'm going to go. So I'll first tell you the steps of creating a Google Classroom. So once I explain you with the presentation, then I will take you to a live demonstration on how do we go about with that. That's going to be the first session. So Google Classroom, why did we choose Google Classroom first of all? So I would like to tell everyone that G Suite for Education is free for the institutions now. And it's also easy to register in G Suite. So your institutions can register, which is many number of useful applications which you can use. So that's why we chose Google Classroom, because it's going to be the same whether it's going to be your personal account or it's going to be a G Suite. And G Suite for Education also has some added features. So it's easy for you, your institutions can register for G Suite for Education and get the whole benefit of it. So the first one, I'm going to create a virtual classroom. So for that, I will have to register in Google Classroom, right? So when I'm going to register in Google Classroom, the first step is go into classroom.google.com. That's the website. Then sign up using your mail ID and password. So once you sign up, this is what you will get. So you will have your Google Classroom space, but there are no classes set up. Okay, this is the first step of your Google Classroom. So once you've entered your Google Classroom, the next is I need my students in my class. Say for example, I'm teaching for first year class. So I need to create a classroom for the first years. How do we do that? So you can see here there's a plus symbol here and there is a create class. So when I click this create class, I'll be able to create a class. This is the dialog I will get. So accept the agreement here, then continue. So when you continue, you will get a window like this, where you will give all your class details, the name of the class. So I've just given a sample of it, a 12th standard G section class. The subject is going to be computer science and the room I wanted. I just wanted to name this room and click create. So once I create this class, a classroom is set up for me. A virtual classroom is set up for me, 12th standard G section. And I'm the teacher now because I created the class. And these are the tabs available for the teacher. If I wanted, I can just go here, select the theme. I can change the background, the theme of this. Or say, for example, you have the group photo of the class. That will be great to upload the photo here. So you can also upload the photo so that the student feels the sense of the class. So you can just, this is all optional. If you want, you can do it. Then you have created your classroom. So now, very similar to your physical classroom, which is made of bricks. Now there's going to be a virtual classroom. So your virtual classroom is ready. The next step is you need students inside the classroom. So for that, we'll have to invite the students to the class. There are two ways of inviting students to the class. The first one you can see here, when I create the class, there's a class code displayed here. So when I click this, I'll get the class code in a zoomed way. I can just copy this and share the class code with my students in a WhatsApp group, or if I have a mail ID, or if I have a group ID for the students, I'll be able to share this. And what should the students do next? So once I share it, the students, as I did for the classroom registration, they can go to Google Classroom, register. Once they sign up, they can join the class. So for the teacher, you're creating a class. For the student, you're joining the class. So when you click the join class, it will ask for the class code. When you give this class code, the student will be entering your class. That's one way of inviting the students to the class. And this is going to be the easiest way of doing, because you can just share the class code to all your students, because all the students is going to definitely have a WhatsApp group. The class is going to have a WhatsApp group. It's easy for you to share. The other way of doing it is, you can just go to the people tab, and inside the people tab, you can just invite students, and you can type all the email ID of the students. So that's another way of doing it. So I'm sure we'll not be knowing all the email IDs if you know all the email ID of the student. And it's definitely difficult because there are 50 students, you'll have to type all the 50 email IDs. If all the 50 IDs you know, in that case, you can type all the email IDs, then click this invite button here. Now, an invitation goes as a mail to all your students. Now, if the students clicks this button join, the student will be able to join your class. So these are the two ways by which you can bring in the students to your classroom. So once all this is done, so now you have your classroom space and you all have your students also. So now your classroom is set for action. So after student has joined the class, when you go to the people, you'll be able to see the teachers and the student. So it will say how many students are there in your class. Okay, this is just a sample I've created. How many students are there in the class? Now, when I click this actions here, I'm selecting this checkbox. When I click this drop down actions, I have three options here. I can email to the student, or I can remove a student, or I can mute the student. This I can do it per student basis or for the entire class. If I want to do it for one student, I can just select the student and then email. If I want to remove a student, I can just select the student, remove. I can also mute the class. So what is muting is, when I mute the class, what happens? The students will be able to submit the work. The students will be able to see your post. But one thing is, they will not be able to see other students' work. And they will not be able to post anything or comment anything. So if you wanted to mute your students, in that case, you may mute your students. So by clicking this mute button. Okay, so we are entered the classroom as a teacher. Now the students are there with us, and you can give the rights to the students. So once a student is set, sometimes a subject may be handled by more than one teacher. It could be a shared paper, or it could be a practical paper where you have practical assistants and all those things. You can also have a co-teacher for your class, any number of co-teachers for your class. So a co-teacher can do everything a teacher can except deleting the class. So how do I create a co-teacher? Just click this plus. In the teachers, click this plus, and you can enter the co-teacher's details. Now, I have a co-teacher here. So this co-teacher will be able to do everything what I can except not deleting the class. If I wanted to give that right to the co-teacher, if I want to make this co-teacher as a teacher, I can just go to the co-teacher's options, click here. I'll get these three options. I can make the teacher as a class owner. So now the teacher will become the owner of the class, and she'll be also able to delete the class. Okay, so we have students, we have teachers. That's right. Now the classroom is set for all of us. So we can now start working. Teaching, learning, and evaluation now can happen in our virtual classroom as we do normally for a physical classroom. Okay, so as I said earlier, we have 4 tabs here: stream, classwork, people, and grades. Now we are going to see what is all this about. The first one is the stream tab. So when I click the stream tab, it will list out all your classes, and if you want to post something to one student or to all the students, I can select it, and then I can type share with your class. I can type something, okay, and if I want to add any file for reference or something like that, I can add when I click here. Then I can post. When I click this post, this message will be posted to all my students. The students will also receive a mail saying that a post has been there for you. So any post, anything, any assignments, any work you do as a teacher in your classroom will be notified to all your students in their mail. And say, for example, my semester is over, I don't require that class any longer, but I don't want to delete it because I have so many materials available there. So I wanted to archive that. So that's also possible. What we can do is I can just click the class here, this options, archive. So when I archive, what happens here is I will not be able to update anything in the class. I will not see this class in my home page, but the class is available for reference in my drive. So the best part of using the Google Classroom is you're not saving anything in your computer. It's going to be in the cloud. So you get the space for the cloud also free, and you're going to work in the cloud. You're not storing anything in your computer also. So everything is going to be in the cloud. So, right. So this semester I don't require. Maybe the next semester I wanted the same class again because I have so many materials there. So what I can do again, I can just go to the archived classes. Okay, click this menu, go to the archived classes. I'll get the list of all the archived classes. If I want to restore this, click this restore. So what happens? This class will come in my home page. After that, I'll be able to change everything. My students can interact and everything can happen as a usual class. Okay, so the next is going to be so what we have did here is we have created a virtual classroom space. The students have entered our classroom. Then we have given the privilege for our student. We have included a co-teacher. We also know how to archive and restore the class. Now we can go in for the classwork here. So classwork is, when I click this classwork tab, you can see create. I'll be able to create so many things. So I can do so many things in my create classwork. So assignment. The first one is, how do I create this assignment? So when I want to create an assignment, so when I click that assignment button, you can see it asks for a title. Okay, I've just given a sample, a Python project. If you want any instructions to be given to the student, you can give the instruction here. You have two buttons, add and create. Add is, you can add all this. When I click this add, I'll get these 4 options. I'll be able to add anything from the Google Drive or a link or a file or YouTube. And create, I can create a new doc. I can type something and I can also send it to the student for reference. Okay, so once I do all these things, then you can go here on the right side. You can see for how many points you want this assignment to be done, the maximum score. Then fix a due date, that is by 5th. The students should have submitted the assignment. So what happens once the deadline is on, the students will never be able to submit after that. So I'll be able to maintain it properly. So fix a due date for it. Then I can also set the rubrics. That's the best part of it. So rubrics is, say for example, I'm going to do this project for 100 marks. Out of which I wanted to set 30 marks for design, 40 marks for coding, and 30 marks for implementation and testing. That I can give it in the rubrics. The students will understand how the marks are going to be split. So they will know for what they will have to give more importance to. So I can click this rubric and I can set the rubric. So once I complete entering the rubrics, then this is what I will get. You can see here the title, and for the design, I've given you 30 marks. Whatever instructions you want, I can give. For the code, 40 marks, and for the implementation and testing, 30 marks. So once you do all these things, the next step is you will have to assign. Only when you assign, that will be posted for your students. So when you click this assign, the assignment will be posted for all your students. Again, they will get an email for stating that such an assignment is given by your teacher. Okay, right. So now I'm just entering the student part. So the teacher has given the assignment. Now the student receives a mail. This is the mail the student will get. The class, the title, the instruction. Now when I click this open, I'll be able to see if there is any document attached. All those things the student can see it. Okay, so now what happens here? And also the mail they will receive, and in the student login, in the Google Classroom, in the student login, when the student goes to the classwork, the student will be able to see all the test, assignment, whatever the teacher has assigned. So here you can see the rubric here. When you click all these things, you'll be able to see the details, what the teacher has given for the assignment. Okay, so when the student clicks the view assignment, the student will be able to see all these things. All the rubrics, what the teacher has given, and based on that, she can do the assignment. Once she has completed the assignment, she can click this add or create, okay, where she can upload the file in which she has done the assignment, then mark as done. So when she gives mark as done, now her assignment will be posted to the teacher. So the teacher will receive her assignment. Okay, so now what happens here? So we can see here, when I give this add or create, it goes here. These are the options a student will get. Say for example, a student has got her assignment in a file which is there in a computer. Okay, so she can upload her file. Okay, so I just tried uploading a file, then turn in. So when the student turns in, now the assignment will reach the teacher. So now in the teacher login, once the student turns in her assignment, now you can see here, the teacher can open the file. I mean, she can go to the classwork tab, open the file. This is the document, the file the student is attached. So she can see, correct that, and then she can give the marks. You can see here for the design, she can type the marks here. For the code, she has typed, and for the implementation, she has typed. So once she completes that, the grade will be calculated, and when the teacher clicks this button, return, the marks will be returned to the student. The student will be able to see a marks. And the teacher in the grades tab will be able to see the mark also. Okay, so this is what about your Google Classroom. Okay, so now let me show you how do we do it using, I'll just show you a live demonstration of that. Okay, before I proceed, I just wanted to know if there is any doubt for anyone, anything that needs to be clarified. Otherwise, can I go in for a live demonstration now? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. We can
Yes.
go in for a live demonstration.
Yes. Okay. So now I just open a new tab here. So here I'm just going in for a Google Classroom. So Google, you can just type Google Classroom and search for it. And you can see here the window classroom.google.com. Just select it. So when you select it, okay, this is the class I created and this is a sample I showed you there. Now, I just wanted to archive this class. So what I can do, this is my home page. This is my home page. So what I can do here is, I can just click this archive. So I don't require this class anymore, but I still wanted to keep it safe because I'll be using it sometime later. So I don't want to delete it. So I will archive it. So just click this archive. And this is my home page. This is my Google Classroom page. I've already registered. I've already signed up. You can see here my login. And this is the class I already have. Let me archive it. So when I archive, it says it cannot be updated unless you restore them. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, let me archive it. It's going to be saved anywhere in the drive. Okay, so it's archiving now, and now my class, I don't have any class in my home page. But when I go here, I can just click this one and see. You can see all these are the menus available, and I can just go into the archived classes and see. I've got a lot number of archived classes available. Say for example, by mistake I've archived, or maybe in the next semester I wanted to restore it. Again, I can just go here, restore. So it comes back to my home page. And now I'll be able to use that with my students. Okay, so now I've restored it. Maybe I'll go to the home page, classes. Okay, so I've restored the classroom. Right. So now I'm the teacher. Okay. So when I create a class, I become a teacher. When I join a class, I become a student. That's it. So now you can go here. You can see create a class or join a class. So I'm going to create a class because I'm just going to be a teacher now. So let me create a class. So accept this. Continue. It will ask for your class name. Okay, so 12th standard. Or let me have some 10th standard. Section is going to be F. The subject, let me have it as computer science because I am comfortable with computer science. Then let me have some room as 17, room number 17. Okay, and then create it. So the class is getting created now. Okay, so now the class has got created. We'll just wait for some time. Yeah. So you can see here, now I have two classes. When I go into the classes homepage, already I have this class. Now I have another class. I wanted to do something with this class. Okay. So 10th standard. Now you can see there is a class code. When you click this, you can see it's getting bigger. I can just copy it. Okay. I've copied it. Now I can share it with my students. Okay. Or what I said, I can just go to the people. I can also invite students. Okay. So now I'm going to do the first way. I just copied the class code I'm going to share it with my student. Okay, so what I will do, I'm just going to create another Google Classroom window where I'm going to enter a student. Let me log out from here. Now I'm just going in for another classroom. Okay, so please remember this icon is a student icon. Okay, this is going to be my student login. Okay, for me to show both, this is going to be the teacher one. So now I've logged in this mail ID. That is, I've entered the Google Classroom with this mail ID. That's it. Okay, now I am not a teacher nor a student. Okay, I have not specified anything. What I did here is I just opened the Google Classroom and signed up with this mail ID. That's it. Now I wanted to join the class. So again, the same plus button, click here, join class. So when I join class, just paste the class code. I just copied the class code from there. I'm pasting it, join. So the student is joining the class. Fine. So you can see here, this is the student page. And the student has got 3 tabs: stream, classwork, and people. Okay, whereas the teacher has got one more tab called as grade, right? So this student has joined your class. Similarly, all students can join your class. Now, let me go into the teacher tab. Now, just go to the people and check whether you have students. You can see here, this student has joined your class. Okay, so now you can give the privileges for your student. Just select this. This is for selecting all students. And now in the actions, you can mute your student, meaning that the student will not be able to see other students' submission and she will not be able to post or comment anything. Okay, so if you want, you can mute it. Okay, now if you want, you can email the student, right? So you can do all these things inside this. Now, to add a co-teacher, what we can do, we can just click this plus, invite teachers. In the teachers here, I can invite the teachers. I can give the mail ID of the teacher. The teacher will come to your class. Okay, so now your classroom is set. Right. So now the next is you're going to go for the classwork. So when you're going in for the classwork, okay, so if I want to post any message, say for example, tomorrow the students have class from 10 to 12 a.m. I wanted to post this message to my student. So I can just go to stream, share something with your class. You can see here, share something with your class. Just go here, type tomorrow the class will be from 10 to 12 noon. Okay, just type something. If you want to add any instructions, you can add it, click it and add. Right now, I don't want to add, just post it. So I'm in the teacher login. I'm posting a message to my 10th standard students. Okay, so when you post the message, the student will get a mail of the message. In addition to that, in the Google Classroom also, I'll have to refresh it to see the post. So you can see here, in the student's classroom also you get this message. So every student will receive your message and also as a mail. Okay, so the student will be able to see the mail, so she will never miss your classes. Right. So now let me give a classwork. I'm a teacher now. Let me give the classwork. So in the classwork you create, I'm going to create assignment. Okay, so you can do so many things. So question is, I can just give one single question for the student. No, I can just give some question and any instructions, which is optional here. Then I can ask. Okay, so now you can see here, I have received actually the message. So you can see here in my student login, the message given by the teacher has come as a mail. Okay, so any post, anything the student will receive as a mail. So I can just give one single question to the student. That's also possible. I can just ask, Okay, this is what a question is, right? So when I ask this question to the student will be updated and the question will be received by the student. And anytime you do something, it will come as a mail to the student. Now the next is I can create assignments. So when I create assignment here, say for example, I wanted to give some assignment here, C project. And the instruction is handman. So students will have to do handman project. Okay, now I wanted to give some instructions to student for that. So I can create a doc. So doc is going to be the Google Doc, which is created. So I can just say some instructions. This is the instructions for you to complete whatever you wanted to do. You can give the instructions here. See, for any time I do, you can see all the, it's getting, the mail is got by the student. Okay, so once I complete this Google Doc, I can set the option for the student. Whether the student can view the file, or she can also modify your file, or she can make a copy of your document and she can work on it. Whatever it is, you can give the privilege here. Then you can give the, so once you complete this, now the next is for how many points you wanted. You can just select, no, you can just give it some points, or you can also just make it as ungraded. Sometimes we give tests for the student just for the learning purpose, not for assessing her. So that also can be done here. Then the due date. So I can specify the due date after which the student will not be able to submit an assignment. So that's going to be, because I can, I can also set the time. Say for example, after 11:59 p.m. she cannot submit the assignment. So July 3rd, 11:59 p.m. After that, even if she tries, she will not be able to submit. So she cannot come and say to us, no ma'am, no something problem, I submitted and all those things, because it's very clear here. Then I can also enter the rubrics here. Just click this rubric, create rubric. You can give the rubric here. So for example, for the design of your project. Okay, so I wanted to give 30 points for that. Okay, now again, add a criterion here. The next one, maybe for the coding. Okay, coding should be efficient and effective. The points I can allocate, so 40. Okay, then add a criterion. So testing your project. And I can allocate 30 marks. Okay, now save it. So when I save it, my rubrics also gets attached here. You can see here. Once I complete all these things, I will have to give this assign. So you can see when you're going to create an assignment, you're able to do so many wonderful things. So you can also give the scheme of evaluation to the student. So the student is very clear about it. And also when you're evaluating, you know the rubric actually. So you assign it to a student. So similarly, you can do it for all these things. Assignment, quiz, which we'll see in detail later, question, material. So if you want to assign any material, say for example, you have a PowerPoint which you wanted to add it to the student for your class students reference. That can also be done here. Okay, I can just add, or I can create, I can attach all my PowerPoint presentations or any video I have. I wanted the students to watch some video which is really nice, or I am creating a video by myself. Okay, that video can also be uploaded in your Google Classroom. So all these things can be done using your classwork. So now you can see here in my student login, you can see when I go in with the classwork, you can see the C project has been uploaded here. When I open it, the student will be able to see the entire thing, and the Google Doc will give me the instructions. Now when I view the assignment, you can see the rubrics also. The student will know the scheme of evaluation. And what the student can do is just add the file, whatever she wanted to, then she can mark as done. So once she does this, that will be reflected if the teacher, then the teacher can grade it. Say for example, I'm just adding a file here from my computer. I'm just adding a file from my computer. So okay, let me add some file. Okay, so I'm just adding some file in my computer, then upload it. Okay, so once I upload, this is my assignment project. This is my assignment. I'm uploading it, then turn in. So one attachment will be submitted. It's asking for your confirmation. Just give the confirmation here. That's it. So the student has completed the assignment. She has submitted it. So once the student has submitted again the classwork in the C project, you can see the turned number of students who have turned the assignment is 1. So because I just got only one student, so that one student also has turned, submitted the assignment. So 0 assigned, 1 has turned. So I can just open it. I can evaluate it. I can evaluate. I can correct it. So once I return from the teacher, the student will get the marks also. So I can do so many things here. And finally, in the grades also, I can just go and see the grades. Okay, so we have created a virtual classroom and we know how to attach the files, how to evaluate the student. Okay, so all this, so I'm just showing you a classroom space, and how do we go on with the quizzes and all those things we'll be seeing in detail in the further sessions. So I would like to know if there is anything, any doubt you wanted to clarify, or we can just go on with the next. Any doubts for any one of you? Yes, do you have any doubts? Okay.
No, ma'am, it's clear. They have given no doubts
Thank
in
you,
the chat box.
Okay. Fine. So now what is here is we have created a virtual classroom. Okay, as you remember, whatever we had in the physical classroom, we have it in a virtual classroom. In addition to that, we have the comfort and the flexibility of learning. So now we have used Google Classroom for creating a virtual classroom. And we know how to invite our students. Now the students are set inside our classroom. So the students are there, and we know how to upload the materials for reference from the student. Okay, then I think there are some questions. Let me, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So do we need to have the email? Yes. See, actually, that's why I said, ma'am, if you have the email, you can do it. Definitely will not be having the email of the students, not everyone's at least. That's why I told you, you can copy the code, share it with the students. When the student registers, she'll be able to register only with her mail ID, and she will join the class with the code. So automatically the mail ID will be there with you. I hope it's clear. So all communication will go to our mail ID, because anyway, she's going to sign up with her mail ID. And yeah, how to include Google Meet link? Yes, ma'am, we are going to discuss about this. So we'll be covering that also. So yes, can I go again, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay. So now we are set now with our virtual classroom, right? The next is creating video tutorials. There are two different types of videos available. So one, I can already prepare a video. I can show it to my students. I can just put it in the, maybe I'm going to take a class for tomorrow. I can upload this video the day before itself, so that the student can watch the video and then come for the next class, prepare themselves and come for the next class, so that they will have a better understanding. Okay, so instead of giving some video which is already available in the internet, it will be great. Now, if I'm going to create my own video, which is going to be customized, because I know my students better. So I know my students better, so I know how will they understand and what is that they know till now. So all this, I know it very clear. No one else will know it better. So if I'm going to create a video for my students myself, that will be really helpful, rather than asking them to refer to some other videos created by others. Yes, actually they can be the add-ons, but still it will be better to create our own videos. So we are just going to see how do we create video tutorials for the students. Okay, so that is, I'm just going to create video and I'm going to share it with my students. That's going to be the next thing. Right. So creating video tutorials. So there are two ways of creating video tutorials. One, I can do it online. Number two, I can do it offline. I can create videos offline as well as online. Okay, now I'm going to cover how do we create video online. So for that, no, I prefer Zoom app, right? Everyone would have heard about the Zoom. We have tried with so many things. We have tried with Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet and all those things. But Zoom is more easier and the clarity is also more. So I'm just preferring Zoom app. But still, the process is going to be the same for all tools. So you need not worry. No, just because we are using Zoom, you're supposed to use Zoom and all those things. So the process is going to be the same whether you are going to use WebEx or whatever it is. So I'm just preferring to use zoom.us. Okay, I'm sure everyone will be familiar with this Zoom, and I'm going to create video using this zoom.us. So I will have to go into this link zoom.us, and again I will have to sign in with my mail ID. Okay, I'm just going to register myself with my mail ID and password, and then I can log in with my mail ID and password. Right. So after I log in, when I open the Zoom, I can host a meeting. Okay, I can host a meeting. So now when I am hosting a meeting, I'm going to create a video. So what is the thing we are going to do is, I'm not going to invite participants. Okay, I'm just going to host a meeting. I'm going to talk in the meeting. Okay, I'm going to record it. No one is there to listen to that. Okay, then it becomes a video tutorial. Okay, I'm not just going to invite participants. That's the only difference here. So now I've logged in into Zoom. You can see there is host a meeting here. You have choices here. If you want your video to appear along with your presentation, that's fine. You can go on with video on. If you wanted only to share your screen, you don't want your face to appear, you can go for screen share only. But it's always better to show your face, so that you also become more expressive and the students will be able to connect with the video. Okay, so now host a meeting. You select whatever option you wanted to. So once you select this option, this is the window you will get. So now you can see here, join audio, share screen, invite others. I'm not going to invite others because I'm going to record the video. Okay, so now when I share screen, when I click this share screen, this is the window I will get. I can share all my screens. Say for example, if it's going to be a computer subject, I can open my editor. I can do a live program and explain it to the students. The students will be able to see all those things in my video. So I can open a PowerPoint presentation and I can explain that. The students will be able to watch the presentation, will be able to hear my audio, will be able to see my face, everything will be there. So I will have to share any of this. If I share the desktop, whatever is there in my screen, whatever is there in my computer desktop will be seen by the student. Okay, so I'm just sharing this desktop, then share. Select this desktop and click this button share. So when I click this button share, this is the window I'm getting here. Okay, so now I've opened the meeting. I've posted a meeting. Now what I will do, I've shared my desktop. I'll start my recording. So you can see when I click this one, the more option here, I'll get all these things. I click this record. Okay, so I can open the presentation. I can start explaining it. I can record it. Okay, so everything happens. After I complete it, I will have to click this end meeting. So when I click this end meeting, the meeting gets ended and whatever I spoke will be saved as a .mp4, that's a video file, mp4 file. So that video I can upload in Google Classroom, or I can upload in YouTube, then give the link to the students. Okay, so that's how do we create a video tutorial online. Okay, so I'm just going to show you live how do we do it. So what we'll do here is, let me go into Zoom. Okay, zoom.us, right? So let me go into zoom.us. So I'm just entering here. Okay, I'm signing in here, sign in. Okay, because I've already signed up. If you're new to Zoom, you will have to sign up. I've already signed up. So I'll go to sign in. So I've saved my email address and the password. So it's already there. Now let me give sign in. So I went to sign in, email address and the password. Now sign in. Right. So I'm inside the Zoom app. Now the next step is host a meeting. Okay, when I host a meeting, I can just go with video on or screen share. Let me show you video on. With video on, I'll just open it. So I'm hosting a meeting. Now open zoom.us. So it's opening. Okay. So now I'm actually in zoom.us. I kept the video on. Okay. So what I can do here is, the next step is I'm going to share the screen. So I'll just go here, share my desktop. Okay, I'll just share my desktop. So whatever is there in the desktop, or if you want this session, I mean this presentation should be shared, I can just share that presentation alone. Okay, now I can just go here in the more, just a minute. In the more here, click record. So now the recording has started. Okay, so you can see here your screen sharing and the recording has started. So I can just play this PowerPoint. I can explain this PowerPoint, or if you want to share some other window, that's also possible. So after I share, I just stop share. Okay, so when I stop sharing, again, the next step, as you all know, yeah, I'm into, correct. So let me go into this. I can stop the recording here. Okay. Yeah. So let me go into the Zoom. Then let me end the meeting. So when I end the meeting, end meeting for all. So now you can see here the recorded file will be converted to MP4. So it's getting converted. So your MP4 file is now ready. Okay, I'm just running this file. So now the recording has started. Okay, so you can see here your screen sharing and the recording has started. So I can just play this PowerPoint. I can explain this PowerPoint, or if you want to share some other window, that's also possible. So after I share, I just stop share. Okay, so when I stop sharing, so you can see here. So now the recording has started. Okay, so you can see here your screen sharing. So this is the video I've created using Zoom. And the recording has started. You can see your face. So I can just play this PowerPoint. I can explain this PowerPoint, or if you want to share some other window, that's also possible. So after I share, I just stop share. Okay, so when I stop sharing, again, the next step as, okay, so this is about your, how do we create video using Zoom? Okay, it's very simple. So the steps are, you'll have to register for zoom.us. Once you register, you can sign in. So once you sign in, host the meeting, and you can select the option whether you want the video only or screen sharing. Then share your screen, then start record. Then the recording starts, you can explain the process. Finally, you end your meeting. So when you end your meeting, automatically the record will be created, a video file will be created, which is going to be your MP4 file. That's it. So your video is ready. So now you can upload this video into the Google Classroom. If you remember, you have a classwork tab. In that tab, there is a menu called as material. So in that material, you can attach it. Otherwise, I can also do it in YouTube. Say, for example, the video is very big. And please remember, all your files are going to be stored in your drive. And your drive has got a good amount of space, but it's limited. Just imagine for 30 days, you're going to take the class. You're going to upload the videos. It's going to be very huge. So maybe your drive get completed before that. So what we can do is I can upload this video in the YouTube, and I can just share the link with my students. So that's also possible. So for that, how do we do it? So how do we use, how do we use the YouTube to upload our video tutorials? So go to youtube.com. Okay, log in. I've logged in. After I log in, I'll have this menu here. I can either, when I click this menu, it could be either upload video or go live. Okay, I just click this upload video. Go live, we'll be seeing it later. So the first one is upload video. So this will take to this screen. Here you can go select the file you wanted to upload. So once you select the file you wanted to upload, then it will ask for the title of the video, the description of the video, and there is an option whether the video is for the kids or not for the kids. You will have to select the option. That's the mandatory requirement for the YouTube. Then you click the button next. So once you click the button, the most important thing is the visibility of your video. If you wanted the video to be private, that means only the person whom you say can view, they'll be able to view it. That's private. Unlisted is if you give the link to the person will be able to see. Whoever has the YouTube link will be able to watch your video. The three public is anyone can view your video. So you will have to select the visibility mode if you wanted only your students to watch the video, or if you wanted to share the YouTube link with only your friends and known persons, you can go in for unlisted. Or if you wanted to throw it for public, anyone can watch it. In that case, you can go in for public. Once you select this, just publish it. So when you click this publish, that's it. Your YouTube is uploaded. Your video is uploaded in the YouTube, and you can take the link, share it in the Google Classroom so that everyone will be able to see it. Okay, so for that, let us see how do we do it. Just go into youtube.com, log in. So I've already logged in. Okay, so it's just your email ID, that's it. Yeah, youtube.com. If you're new to YouTube, it will ask for your login. Just log in. Then click this one. You can upload video. Select this upload video. Yeah, it's getting open. Yeah. It's taking time to open the upload video. Just wait for that. Yeah. So now here you can see select files. So let me upload this video. So video, open. Okay. So now just give a title for this video, a sample video, something, and the description, whatever you wanted to. Okay. A sample video. These are the mandatory things. Okay. And no, it's not made for kids. Then next. These are all not mandatory. Next. Here the visibility. So I can make it either as private, public, or unlisted. Now I'll show you how to make it as private. Okay, so here you can see processing abandoned. File is a duplicate of the video you already uploaded. Okay, this video has been already uploaded into my YouTube. So I'm getting this one. So what I will do is I'll just delete it. Okay, so all these are the samples. I just tried it, so that's why the same video it's getting the problem. Fine. So now just go to this. Yeah, it's just getting deleted. Let us wait. Yeah, so let us go to this create upload videos. Select the file. Okay, select the video, whatever video you wanted to upload. Open it. So give a name for it. Okay, so no, it's not made for kids. Select it. Then next. This is not mandatory. Next. So I'm making this video as private. I just wanted to make it shared with only with my students. So now save. So it's getting saved. Okay, so now we can see this is the video I uploaded in my YouTube. So just click this video, open the video here. So now here in this, you can see here, because I gave it as private visibility, I will have to say to whom I wanted to share. So just click it here, share privately. So give the email of to whom you wanted to share it, then save and go back to YouTube Studio. So what happens? This will be shared. The person to whom you're sharing will get a mail again, and she'll be able to open it and watch your video. Okay, so this is all about uploading your video in YouTube in case if your video is very huge and your drive will get filled very easily. So if this is another way of doing it, I can just upload in YouTube and I can share the link. Okay, sharing the link is this. Just copy this link here. You can see here, copy video link here. Just copy it and then share it with whomever you wanted to. Okay, that's very easy way of doing it. Yeah, so what we have seen so long is creating a virtual classroom, sharing the materials, assigning assignments to the students submitting the work. Okay, then creating a video online. Okay, then sharing the online using YouTube or directly. Okay, so this is I just wanted to know if there is any doubt for anyone. If you don't have doubt, I think we'll move on with the next. Is this clear so long, ma'am? Anything? Because yes. How to record? Yes. Okay. How to record in Google Meet? Fine. So now Google Meet personal account does not have a recording by itself. Okay. So anyway, we have tried how to help you out to record your Google Meet also. So that also will be part of the 3-day session. So when we are covering the Google Meet, we'll also be dealing with that. So, but Google Meet in the private account, you don't have an option for recording, whereas in G Suite, you have this option. And it's also free. That's why we always say, please register for G Suite for education. And then it's going to be common for all your institutions. What are the advantages of creating a G Suite for education? You will be able to create Gmail ID for your students in your institutional domain. Say, for example, for our college, stellamariscollege.edu.in. So I can create a student, Radha, at stellamariscollege.edu.in. So instead of Gmail, I'm able to create a student mail ID with the college domain. That looks more professional. So in our college, all the students and all the faculty have those email of the college domain. That's one advantage. It's all free. Nothing is, we are not paying anything for that. In addition to that, you have so many other features one important feature here is for recording your Google Meet. And there are so many things we'll have to add upon. So it's easy for you if you sign in with G Suite for Education, but still we'll be covering if you're going to use a Google Meet with your personal account, how do we record? That also will be covering in the 3-day session. Anything else, ma'am?
No, ma'am. No.
Yeah.
We can continue. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now, let me invite Miss Charulata to take over the session. Over to Charulata.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Hope I am audible.
Yes, Charulata.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So this session we will be seeing how to create videos offline. So ma'am already has taught us about how to create online videos. Most of the time we will think that, okay, always it's going online, it's not safe. Or if you feel that your data pack is not sufficient for you to always create videos online, you can always have creating videos offline as well. So let me share my presentation and then proceed with that. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So how do we create offline videos? There are numerous methods to create, but we chose PowerPoint because most of us are comfortable using PowerPoint, and most of us have used PowerPoint, be it a student or a staff, a faculty would have used a PowerPoint for creating their presentations. So when we say creating a video using PowerPoint, it becomes more easy for us to accept it and also to go with the flow. So why should we go for PowerPoint? As we all know, it is very powerful and flexible teaching and learning support tool. And you can incorporate a lot of visual and audio media presentations into your presentation to make it more lively and make it more engaging. And the other important point is if you want to emphasize a particular point, you can always need not have it to be very elaborate. You can emphasize it with shorter terms or single phrases, and later you can have your lecture to be elaborated on that single phrase. It can be like a hint which is given on the PPT, but you can elaborate it to any extent. And the second advantage of using a PowerPoint is augmentation. So you can always have your graphs or tables to help you or to support your lecture. And the third one is multimedia learning. And usually they used to say a picture is worth 100 words. So when we visually give them what it looks like or how the image is going to be or demonstrate it rather than only the textual content, then going hand in hand with the text as well as with the picture, the students will find it interesting in learning these subjects. And from our side, we thought we'll give you some basic tips for an effective presentation, which we usually use. First point is less is always more. Need not crowd your slides with too much of text content. Have maximum of 6 points in one slide, not more than that. Because as we know, we will be dealing with millennials and they don't have the attention span for a longer duration. So it is better we always stick to less content in each of a slide. And make sure that you have at least one takeaway from each of the slide. Always use high quality images, charts or graphs, and better reduce your textual content. And always have the formatting to be very clean and simple. Always use a format with a light background and a standard dark color font. Never go the vice versa, because we are not sure in where we are going to present, how the room environment is going to be, how the lighting is going to be, all those things. And you should be always aware of the systems which you plan to give your presentation. Say, for example, you are invited as a resource person to a different place and you are sending them the PPT without knowing how their lighting setup and all those things. In that case, restrict to 2 colors, have a light background and the standard font, a dark font, because it will be easy in whichever lighting environment the video, or sorry, the presentation will get delivered properly. Otherwise, it is better you carry your own laptop if you don't rely on these pen drives or other things. And the next one is we also have students who have some difficulty in reading or listening, those like with dyslexia problem. So avoid using a black text on a white background because they find difficult to read. So that is psychologically that has been proven. Don't use such colors. And also never use red and green for emphasis, because those who have color blindness, red green color blindness, it will look similar to them. So it is better not to use those colors when you want to highlight two important things in one particular slide. Then don't use those two colors, can never go together. And when you are giving a lecture, have opportunities for them to give their feedback or to make them participate in the PPT with having some quiz in between, so that they will also get an engaging environment. So this is how about the tips. And what we are going to see today is how do we create video offline. And there is an opportunity to present online as well using PowerPoint itself by sharing a small link. And the last one is the screen clipping. So first one is how to create video offline. There are two methods. The first one is recording a slideshow, and the second one is screen recording. Recording slideshow, it is supported from PowerPoint 2007. Hope everybody holds the system. Even the very old system will have a PowerPoint 2007. So you can go with that. Or you can go for screen recording, which is supported from PowerPoint 2013, 16, and 19 onwards. So from 13, it is available. For those who have purchased systems very long back with PowerPoint 2013, and if you couldn't find the screen recording, there is an update which is available in the Microsoft web page. It is given like this, like February 16, 2015 update for PowerPoint 2013. So if you update it, if you install this, give an update of your existing PowerPoint 2013, then you will be able to see this particular screen recording option available. Okay. So now we will go one by one. First, we'll go for record slideshow. Before entering into this recording section, there is always there are different ways in which you can locate this record slideshow. Instead, I want all these recording, audio, video tools to be in one particular tab, like file, home, and all those things like slideshow and animation. I want one tab as recording, which holds all these things. So every time I need not go to the insert tab or to the slideshow tab. Okay. So in that case, you can very well go with including a recording tab. So to locate the recording tab, you have to go to your PowerPoint options. So PowerPoint options is available in your file. So click on file, then go on to options and click on customize ribbon. In customize ribbon, you have two boxes here. The left box holds all the popular commands and right box holds which all is included and which are not included as well. If you go down, you can see the recording tab available here. Just check this recording tab and click on OK. On clicking OK, a new ribbon will be added to your new tab will be added to your ribbon. Along with file home, you can see recording. So it holds all the slideshow recording, screenshots or screen recording, all the menus related to recording will be available in one tab itself. Otherwise, I have to click on slideshow or I have to go for insert. Even if this is not available, even if this recording is not available also, you can always locate this screen recording or slideshow recording using your slideshow and insert tabs. That is very much available there. But just for convenience sake, I'm telling you that you can always include a recording tab. So now I'll just show you a short demo, then we will have a recap of it as well on how we record a slideshow. So for recording a slideshow, why should we go for recording a slideshow? Usually, most of the time, we will think that it will be monotonous. We put up a PPT and the students will be hearing our lecture. Instead, that same day you can say, okay, let us watch a video where you create a slideshow of your own voice to be recorded, where you need not give your lecture, but you keep narrating it. So that is how we call it as a record a slideshow. For that, I've taken a simple example. I am just going to include audio in this. So I'm clicking on recording tab. If you are not able to go to the recording tab, then go to the slideshow tab. Here you can see record slideshow. So this record slideshow will capture the mouse pointer movements as well as your audio if you wish to. So I have to just click record from the current slide, or you can record from the beginning. So suppose I don't want, initially I want to give my own lecture, and after the 5th slide, I want to explain the concept. Then in that case, I can go ahead by recording my own narration there, or from the beginning itself, I can create it as a audio one, narration one, and then convert it into a video or a slideshow. So here, just click on record from the beginning or current slide. Since I'm in the beginning, I'm just going ahead with that. It will ask whether you want to begin a recording with the slide and the animation timings and the narration. Suppose I'm moving my pointer while explaining, whether you want to capture those mouse pointers movement as well. Those things you have to check. Just click on these check boxes and click on start recording. Once you click on start recording, it will enter into the slideshow mode. There you can start narrating or explaining the concept in that particular slide. And suppose once you have some problem in that and you want to start from the beginning, on top you can see a small ribbon there with controls, which shows me the movement to the next slide, or I can very well pause the recording and I can resume from the beginning. Suppose I have made a mistake, I can just go back. It will say resume recording to be done. You can resume recording and it will just pause and start the recording from that point. So you can keep explaining how much ever you want, and you can keep moving either using the arrow mark which is available here for next slide, or using your usual up and down arrow keys for moving your slides. Once you are done, you have to just come out of your slide presentation, and you can very well see there is a small speaker icon available here. On clicking the speaker icon, it will just repeat what has been recorded there. If you are satisfied with the presentation, then you can just convert it into a slideshow, or you can convert it into a video. So just click on that slideshow mode. There you can start narrate. So this is how it gets recorded. So this is your record slideshow. Suppose here I don't want to have the narrations, I want to clear off all narrations, then also that is also possible. So here you have an option called clear. Whether you don't want the timings on the slide to be there, or you want to clear all the narrations, whatever you have done, you have to just click on clear narration on all slides, or clear narration on the current slide. So you can decide on that. Once you're done with that, then I can just export it as a video. For exporting it as a video, just click on file and you can click on export and create a video. So here, go to file, export, create video. Here by default, it comes with full HD and use record timings and narrations. By default, it will show as 5. You need not change that, because it will automatically take the narration that is spent on each of your slide based on your mouse movements. That is moving from one slide to another. How much ever time you have taken, that time alone it will take. It will not go with this timing. So this has nothing to do with that. And click on create video. You can very well create the video, and depending on the size, it will be converted into an MP4 video format. As in Zoom, similar to that. You can also copy that and upload it in your Google Classroom, or you can upload it in your YouTube channel. Okay. So this will take quite some time, because converting the audio and video, incorporating into the PowerPoint, it will take at least 5 to 7 minutes for a shorter PPTs. For a larger PPTs with lot of content, then it will take at least 10 to 15 minutes, not more than that. But it is simple to use because you are giving your own PPTs and you are giving your voice over that. Then it gives them a good feel for them. They can very well understand the concepts rather than going for monotonous, we giving our lectures always with the PPTs. Okay. So this is about recording a slideshow. I'll just go back and give you a quick recap on how this is done. So for recording a slideshow, you have to click on the slideshow tab and click on record slideshow from the slideshow tab, or if you have inserted the recording tab, from that as well. And once you click on record slideshow, it will ask whether from the beginning or from the current slide. You can decide that. And after that, you can select whether you want the slide and the animation timings to be present, and whether your mouse pointer movements or any laser pointer movements to be also captured. And then click on start recording. Once you click on start recording, there is a small tab with the controls appearing on the left end of the left top corner of your screen, and it will enter into the slideshow mode. Once done, you can just come and check whether you want to clear the timing or the narration on the current slide and all the slides. So this is about recording a slideshow, that is narrating your own presentations. And for exporting a video, you have to go to File, click on Export, then Create Video, and you have to just click on Create Video. It will ask in which location you want to create. Once you select the location, from there the MP4 video can be uploaded in your YouTube channel or to your Google Classroom. The next one is screen recording. So this one, most of the time when we want to record something or when we want to show a demo about something, then it becomes very difficult when you put together in a classroom, you want to show them, then it becomes very difficult for them. Instead, I can just record it and show to them so that any number of times they can have a look at it. And it becomes more clear when you record also, you can magnify the, say for example, I'm going to explain about a software. Then in that case, I can very well explain about the project or the software line by line so that it goes to them in a proper format without any distractions. If you ask them to stand together or sit in the class, and if you keep explaining to them also, sometimes they might miss out. So this one is another demo on screen recording. For screen recording, just enter into a blank presentation, create a new one. Okay. So have an empty slide to start here for a screen recording to be done. So I'm clicking on recording tab and click on screen recording. If your recording tab is not available, then you can go to insert and click on screen recording. I hope everybody can see this. Screen recording is on the top, the last one. So click on that. It is under media. Okay. So click on screen recording. Once I click on screen recording, it will ask what is your screen area. So I have to specify. Suppose my screen area is going to be only this, I can decide that. Or if you want to select a full area to be selected, then just drag and drop the area. So the first thing is click on screen recording, and then the second thing is you have to select the area. And then I want to explain about, say for example, I want to explain about OBS. It is a software used for broadcasting and other things. So I want to explain the features of OBS, then I can just select it. So once that comes and fits in this particular area, click on record. Once you click on record, before that, ensure that your audio is there. Suppose you don't want your audio, you want only the video, then in that case, it will only capture the video. So ensure that if you want the audio to be, whatever you narrate, also to be recorded, this is highlighted. And the record pointer, that is the record pointer is, you want your pointer movements also to be recorded, then you have to click on or enable this record pointer. Click on record. It will give us a starting time. And you can start explaining about the features available in OBS by going through each and every command, what is available. And once that is done, there is a floating menu on top where you can pause, stop your recording. Suppose you are done with your recording after explaining all the features, then I can just go here and click on stop. Once you stop, you can see it get back to the PowerPoint presentation where we started our screen recording as a recording video here. So this one here you can see if I play, it will explain. You can start explaining about the features available in OBS by going through each and every command. And once that is done, there is a floating menu on top where you can pause, stop. So this one is as such a PowerPoint. Within the PowerPoint, I've created a video. Still, it has not been converted as a video. Suppose by accident, if you save it as a PPT, it will be only the first image wherever you have left. That is alone will be visible. You can never get back the video as such. So ensure that you convert it into a PowerPoint slideshow or you convert it into a video, whichever is convenient for you. So once this is done, you have to just go to your file, export, and you can create a video. You can click on create video. So on creating a video, it will ask where you want to create this video. You can give a proper name and save it. So down you can see that it is getting converted into a MP4 format. Here it is saying creating video presentation 4.mp4. So it will take some time because as I've already told you, converting into an MP4, it will take few minutes. So you have to patiently check out in this particular area, in the taskbar area where it is completed. Once it is completed, even if you delete this PowerPoint, it will not make any difference because the video format is already available there. So I'll just cancel the conversion because it will take time. So a quick recap on that. You have to select screen recording from the insert or the recording tab. When you click on insert tab in the ribbon, menu ribbon, you can see the screen recording here. Click on that and it will ask you to select the area, enable the audio, and then click on record. Once you are done with that, you can pause or stop your video and preview the recorded video, and you have to export it as a video. Okay. The next option available here is presenting online. This feature, most of the time, we would have sent a PPT to some persons. Okay. But we will always have a problem we will always have a confusion whether they have understood in the method or intended in the method what we have placed there in that particular slide. So in that case, you want to give your own presentation online rather than only sending the video. I want to present it online. Then there is an option available, which is also available from 2016 onwards. From PowerPoint 2016, this particular feature is available. So click on slideshow. Here you can see present online. So present online allows you to give your own presentation by only sharing a link. So you can stay in your place, you can share the link to them, and you can start giving your presentation from as though you are doing it, you are present physically there. So once you click this, there is a small window popping up asking you to connect. So enable remote viewers to download the presentation. Suppose you want them only to view, but they don't want you don't want them to download your work, then you can disable this enable remote viewers to download the presentation. Or else if you think that they can very well download it, just enable this one and click on connect. On clicking on connect, it will give you a link. So you have to just copy this link, send them through mail, and once the mail has reached them, and mail doesn't take much time to reach, as we all know. And once they say they are ready with the link and everything, you can click on start presentation, and it will be as though now how we are conducting our online sessions. It will be similar to that. So you can do that way also. This is another one advantage when which is found in PowerPoints. And the last one, what we are going to see is a screen clipping. Whenever I want to clip a particular file or something and paste it in my PowerPoint slide, in that case, I have to go to snipping tool, or I will go just give a print screen option, then crop it, then bring it here. Instead, once I clip, immediately I want it in my PPT. So that is also possible. So I'll just open an empty slide and I'll just demonstrate that alone. So here in this slide, I want to include some image. Okay, so ensure that the image which you want to click is going to be available in the background. Okay, on top of it, open your presentation and this empty slide where you want to bring in that screen clipping. So here, go to insert, click on screenshot. Okay, so you can click on screenshot and you can available windows, it will open up. You can choose that particular window, or by without seeing that, if you directly click it, it will automatically take you to the window which is available there. So if I just clip it, automatically it is coming here. If you don't want from any of the windows, but some other window which is not visible there, then I have to click on screen clipping. I can just drag and drop only this part alone. I don't want this entire image to be clipped. I want only this part alone. Once you are done, once you leave your mouse pointer, automatically the clipped part will be present in your blank slide which you have opened and where you have initiated your screen clipping. So these are easy methods of creating your presentation. And so just a quick recap. For screenshot, you have to just click on the screenshot menu, which is available from the insert or recording tab. And when I click on screenshot, it always shows me all the available windows. I can choose that particular window and go and click on that. Or you have to have that particular window where you want to have the screen clipping done beneath the PowerPoint, and then click on screen clipping. Automatically your PowerPoint screen will minimize and the background screen will be open, where you have to drag and drop. Once you drop it, automatically that particular clipped picture will be available on screen. So that's about creating presentation. I'm stop sharing, and if you have any doubts, can you let me know?
Excuse me, ma'am. Good evening.
Yes.
This
Good
is
evening,
Evangeline. Yeah, this is Evangeline. I'm
Yes,
using this Microsoft, this one, 2007 only I'm using. Is it possible to change that PowerPoint into 2015 or 16 as you discussed some time back?
Ma'am, only for 2013 they have given an update. Otherwise, you have to just go for an upgradation of or purchasing this Microsoft Office 2013 or 2016 version, whichever you're comfortable with.
I think it is not affordable, right? Getting a Microsoft Office is not affordable, right?
But it is worthy, ma'am.
Instead, I have to change my laptop, right? It is a good idea.
If you have new laptop you purchase, it will automatically be of a new version only, ma'am. Now 2019 is also available with other new features as well.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Anita, they have asked you to repeat screen clipping.
Yes, ma'am. I'll surely do it. So for screen clipping, just open an empty slide. Decide on what is your clipping is going to be. Suppose you have a clipping window already, that is one particular image already open in our online or an internet in a browser, then that also you can clip. Say for example, I will open one. I want only this particular image alone to be clipped. Okay. So I have opened a window of that particular window and this particular image alone to be clipped. Then I have to just keep that beneath and open my presentation with a blank slide. Click on insert, click on screenshot, and it will show me the available windows here. If you're not finding your window, always go for screen clipping, but ensure that this particular window which you want to clip, from where you want to clip, is beneath this, behind this particular PowerPoint presentation. Because once I click on screen clipping, the current PowerPoint presentation will be minimized. So the background screen will be visible where you can start your clipping. So click on screen clipping. So automatically it minimizes and gets back to this one. So I have to just drag and drop the clipping. So that comes automatically here. So this is one neat way of doing it, rather than going for a print screen, then cropping it and doing it. It is easy to do. To include clippings in your PowerPoint. Was that clear, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Any other questions from the participants? Participants also, we have posted the link, attendance link. You can just fill
Yes,
in the forms. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. There is one more question on how to include recording in PPT. The recording icon. This is available in your file. So go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon. So this recording option will be available in the Customize Ribbon. So click on the Customize Ribbon. There will be two panels available. Go for the second panel. The first panel will have the commands which is already there. The second panel will also include all the commands which is already there in your menu, the ribbon, and which are not included. Just drag down and see. Just come down and see. You can have a recording which will be available. Just check the checkbox and click on OK. It will be added as a separate ribbon, separate tab in your ribbon.
Any more questions from participant side? No questions. Ma'am, there is no questions, I think so.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So,
yeah,
they have given thank you.
yes.
So,
Ma'am, actually, no.
yes, ma'am.
We just wanted to go on with the brainstorming session.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that we'll understand how do we do brainstorming in the class.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, it is going to be a 5-minute session.
Okay.
So we'll just do a brainstorming now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yes, you will continue.
Yeah. So now, see, actually, we normally do brainstorming in the classes, right? So when we do brainstorming in the classes, the students are there with us, they say something, we write it in the board and all those things. So how can we do brainstorming in a virtual environment like this? And one more idea of doing this brainstorming is this is a new teaching methodology for all of us. So what are the challenges? We'll have to discuss about what are the challenges we face in doing this, and is there any solution for this? How do we overcome this? So now in the brainstorming session for today, we would like to focus on the challenges as an educator you face in using the online or a blended learning and teaching. So what I will do is, so for that, let me share my screen. So you can see there in the chat. Okay, you have your chat. So in the chat, you can just put out all your points. Know what are the issues and challenges you face as a teacher while you try to implement this online teaching and learning. So once you put it, maybe I can just highlight it in my document so that everyone can see it. So it looks like, no, we are doing a brainstorming session, and finally we'll try to find out if there is any solution for that. How do we overcome all those things? Because it's new for everyone, and I'm sure everyone will have our own challenges. So how do we go about with this? So I request you all to put your challenges in the chat so that I can copy it and I can show it to you here. So I have my Word document, and I have kept my Google Meet window also. So may I request you to put the challenges you face as an educator in implementing this technology?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this will be actually helpful for us, one, to find out how we can perform this brainstorming inside the classroom. Number two, we can also sort out, because all educators are here and everyone will have their own solutions. When we come to get it all together, it will be really useful. So one is student, yeah. So one, they have said network issue. Then student engagement is difficult. So inadequate knowledge. So personal touch is missing. So difficult to manage students of less privileged backgrounds. So too much of ideas. When too much of distraction, when ideas are conflicting. Okay. Okay. So students just log in and leave. Yes. So taking attendance. So technical facility for the students. Okay. So difficult to understand the emotional level of the students. Okay. Infrastructure. So technophobia amongst teachers. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. Lack of time. Yes. Then fear about, yeah, that's what technophobia. Fear about technology. Okay. Okay. Difficult to understand the mindset of the students. I think, yeah. To understand the mindset of students. Generation gap, yes. Generation gap. Control on students. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So yeah, lack of awareness we have given here. Inadequate knowledge. Okay. Okay. Miss out the response. Response from students. Okay. Leads to misuse by students. Oh, very good. Distraction from others at home. Okay. So managing the class. Okay. Yeah. Yes. More workload on teacher side. Okay. Yes. Anything else? Fine. So no, this way of yeah. So can't give equal opportunity to students. Okay. Less interaction and openness. Power management. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Network issues. That's the first thing. Network issue is there. Students' level of learning is questionable. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So no, this is one way of yes, time management. Yeah. More of the things, many of these are overlapping, might be difficult for slow learners. That's why I said in the very beginning, this is actually a gift for the slow learners, because they can learn they can watch the video again and again. Okay. Yes. So no, you can do a brainstorming session like this with the students, so that you engage your students. So you can put out some questions and you can ask the students, choices for that. You can just put it in the document. You can share the document with all the rest. No, you'll be able to bring in the student engagement, exam conducting and correction. Okay, there is something called environment. I don't know what environment, maybe just because we are using more of technology, we are spoiling the environment. I don't know what this ma'am means. Okay, we'll discuss about that. Then, yes, so this is one way of bringing in student engagement to the class. Students should be more active. So maybe somewhere in the middle, we can put a question to the students. So some case with the students, we can ask them, how do you handle this? No, you can bring in there, so that you give opportunity for everyone, and we can put all those things so that we share it and everyone will be able to see what is happening. So yeah, promoting students with special needs, that's one thing. Promoting students with special needs. Okay, more of shouting. Okay. Yeah, so difficulty in assessing the student learning. So yeah, so this is, yeah, as you see here, there is so much of opportunity. Everyone gives your own points, and everyone participates in that, and we can expect the same thing from the students also. Now when you brainstorm something, say for example, there's a new technology we are using and we have so many challenges. So now the next step is, we cannot restrict ourselves because I have so many challenges like this. Why should I go for this? Now this should not be the question for us. No, we have no other choice. We'll have to move towards it. Now, how do we go with it? So that's what we'll have to think about now. So with so many challenges, how do we tackle and overcome all these problems? We'll try to address it in the next 2 days. And we'll try to find out how best we can do with this. Okay, over to Dr. Alma, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, Jaypriya ma'am, Dr. Faustina and Dr. Charlita. It was a very...
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Ma'am, excuse me. I have one question. Ma'am was talking about this G suit. I'm not working with any other. I'm not working anywhere. So is it possible for me to get this G suit on my own and enter into the Google Classroom?
Ma'am, Jaypriya ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Charlotte, you want to say? Yes, Charlotte.
No, ma'am, you go ahead. Google Classroom doesn't require a G Suite and all. But G Suite, if you want to get it for your own personal use, that is also available for purchase. The pricing is very less.
Okay.
It's only $6 with the basic plan, or somewhere around 1,650 per month or something
Okay.
for an enterprise edition itself.
Oh, fine. Fine, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Participants, you have any other doubts to be asked to the resource persons? Fine, then it is fine. Ma'am, we had an excellent session today, especially brainstorming session was very nice. We were thinking about when we were framing the title as constructive teaching. We first framed it as effective teaching and made it as constructive teaching. Here, this brainstorming session is very nice that we can apply the brainstorming method to have a constructive teaching. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your presentation. We would like to end the session today and we will continue tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, participants. Thank you, one and all. Just fill in your attendance link. We will meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay? Any queries, we will put it in the you can check your email box. Okay? Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jabba?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, a formal thanks, ma'am.
Yeah.
On behalf of the Stella Matutina family, I am thankful to Jayapriya ma'am for the inputs in creating a Google Classroom and creating online tutorials through zoom.us. We are extremely happy with your effective demonstration and also for your demonstration in creating a brainstorming session in a virtual environment. Thank you so much, ma'am. I also